Welcome to the Truth is Easy podcast, where we celebrate life,
love,
and flyness. I'm Raina Shantae.
And I'm Doc.
And we're the Massage. You might know me from the Darman videos and my best-selling book, Finding You in Every Script.
You might know me from my podcast called the B&C Podcast.
And you might know us from the TikTok videos where I'm the star.
And I'm running for my life.
I created this podcast so that we can share with you all the amazing conversations that we have on date night.
That's the rumor. Basically, she wants to drag you along.
We're going to go where no couple has ever gone before.
Literally say this lie every
I mean it.
Why?
No, I mean
Why?
it. Because I mean it.
Because other couples do this all the time.
I mean it. The truth is easy starts now. What we going to talk about, babe?
So today, we wanted to talk about a couple of different things, right? Starting off with distractions.
Yes.
Right? So like people are in the creative space and they want to make sure that they are producing wonderful things, whatever's on their heart, or honestly, they're just trying to get a buck and they want to be able to make some money doing some non-traditional work. But I'm really curious because I think a lot of people get hung up from doing those wonderful things or from doing that productive work because of distractions. Right? So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I think that we have all been called to an assignment and a purpose on this earth, and we can definitely get distracted. It honestly can stem from when you were a kid, and having emotional trauma, those types of things can get you caught up. Having some friends that will keep you from focusing on your goal, on your purpose, and also, things can get in the way. Your vices can distract you from your purpose. And it's not saying that you can't have no fun every now and then, but your main goal should be your main goal daily, I think.
Okay, so we can talk about what are some distractions for us, right? I'll start off myself. I don't know if it's called self-fledging,
Flogging.
Flogging. It just doesn't sound
flogging.
Like it feel like.
Flogging, right? Flogging.
I guess. So I'll start off with that, right? For myself, is just talking about the thing that had been a distraction for me for so long was the video game, right? So
what is it again?
The video game.
Oh, okay.
Video game. So I would not consider myself to be a gamer. Those are folks that have headsets and they got special chairs and stuff. So they talk on online communities and they have whole things. Now for me, I just play sport games and 2K or Madden or whatever, and I would play them things for hours. Right now, to be fair,
hours.
Yes, again,
hours.
Everybody got jokes.
Hours.
Till they time to shine. Come on.
Hours.
So,
time after time.
So you gonna sing that to me that's, and then with that face.
Time after time. Yes, he called me his side chick to his video game. That's how much time and dedication and attention and affirmation and
I'm talking to it.
Defecation.
Wow.
And urination.
Definitely not that.
This is how much he dedicated his life to. I thought he was a gamer. I really thought being a gamer is just how much time you spend. Look, so when I was growing up, I used to play a little Nintendo. You know what I mean? I used to be a gamer. I thought my gaming was 2 hours. Well, 2 hours was a long time for me. So I was like, okay, that's anything over 2 hours. Once you hit the 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, you've been on the game, I call that a gamer. But I guess, you gotta have the headphones to be called a gamer. Is that what it is?
Headphones and community, ma'am.
Oh, in community.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because those is gamers.
Well, there's community inside the game, right?
I don't know what I'm talking about. Look, I am there for what I am there for, and it's typically to design shoes.
It is a community in the game.
Yeah, that you can participate in.
Okay.
But I do not. So again, I would not consider myself to be a gamer. I'm playing against people online. But the thing is, I would spend a gang of time up there. So she being way exaggerative about 9, 10, 11 hours, it's not possible because I'm literally working most days 10, 11 hours, right? So then when I get off
how many hours in a day? 24. So you can put another 10 hours on that too.
Negative, because I don't sleep 4 hours. Thank you, ma'am.
You don't sleep.
You can't sleep. So let's talk about that. So anyways, so I would be on the game for hours. I would be on the game for hours and being distracted, right? Being distracted from doing anything productive, right? Because I would just want time off, man, to kind of brain zero and get in there and just be like, okay, next thing I know, it's been a couple of hours and I designed a couple of pairs of shoes, but that's really about it. I fall asleep and, get up and go to work the next day, this, that, and the other. but I had taken a hiatus, still on a hiatus from the game for a while, and I found myself to be incredibly productive, and being able to have clear eyes to be able to say, hey, look, sometimes this is something that I enjoy doing, but if it's taking away from something that can be productive and helpful, then it's not really beneficial to the long term of what we got going on. So that's why I decided to take my video game break. That was a major distraction. I'm not saying that I don't still have life distractions from that kind of stuff, but this is one of the things that has been moved out of the way, and I have found myself to be a lot more productive.
So what is the difference between, what do you call it, a distraction and an obsession?
I would say an obsession is something you can't stop doing. So and it's interesting that you would bring that up, because I would wonder about what do you consider your distraction to be?
Well, I mean, I used to love TV. Like TV, I would spend hours watching TV, even though I was a really good student. So I had goals when I was growing up.
So we talking about that's when you was a kid.
When I was a kid, I was a
talking about
young person, young adult.
We talking about now, though.
Well, I'm just explaining that I do know what it is to be like. I mean, I don't think it was an obsession, but I feel like it took up all of my free time, right? I mean, I wasn't involved with anybody. I was just, my free time was watching TV. Now that I have a husband, children, friends, when I do get on my phone, which could be definitely a distraction, we all know that. I mean, it's like 95% of the world have that distraction. Or 95% of the world actually are productive with that distraction, their phone, which is what I do. I mean, like most of the time, I'm on there doing research.
I thought we said the truth was easy, because it sounds like you making excuses.
See, and that's what you be thinking. You be thinking I'm on my phone, just strolling, but no, I be on there doing my reels. I'm on there connecting with people. You don't even know how many people in my business, in the entertainment business, stay on social media. And I ain't talking about just actors. I'm talking about directors. I'm talking about producers. I'm talking about casting directors. Like, these are major people that stay on social media, posting on social media, messaging me and other people on social media. When I do take a hiatus, which I have many a time, I come back and I miss so many important messages. So it's very difficult for me to separate my business, my profession, from just a hobby, but I think for gaming, that has nothing to do with how you make money, right? So that goes along with my work. So it's difficult in that way for me.
So it's interesting you say that, right? Because there have been a number of times when you have been on a task for work, and then you pick up your phone, and then I ask you about that task hours later. Oh yeah, that's what I was supposed to be doing, because you was fixing a picture, you was posting on social, but
There's a lot of things,
the task,
there's a lot of things to do.
The task never got done because you got distracted by your phone.
Well, it's also called multitasking.
It's also called own your crap. If I could own my video game crap, you could own. Because you made all the excuses about it from the beginning.
And pleasure. That's my phone. It's business and pleasure, especially when it comes to social media. It can be a mix, because a lot of people that I do follow, that I listen to, they encourage me or inspire me to be a better person, to be a better actor. So yeah, it may look like, oh, I'm just looking at some funny thing. I'm very strategic about the people that I follow. It ain't just I'm watching stupid, whatever that don't have nothing to do with my life. It all has something to do with my life, and that's fueling my artistry, I believe. Okay. So that's how I look at it. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think, you talk about the goals that you have, your purpose, your assignment, your mission. What about your relationship? The toll that distractions have on your relationship?
Well, it depends, because I think sometimes the relationship is a distraction from some of the things that I have a purpose to do, right? So I'm a writer. I've written a fiction novel. We're currently working on a sitcom, and I'm a primary writer for that. There's a lot of times where I take time away to be able to focus on that creative thing. And honestly, if I'm at home and with you, like, you probably want to go do something or go be someplace or all this other stuff, and that is distracting me from doing that thing. Now, with the video game, it was, honestly, it got to the place where you saw me in the room, you thought I was on the game, whether I was on the game or not on the game. And then you would just walk away. It wasn't, hey babe, let's do this. It was walk away. Now, when you would say, hey babe, I paused the game. All right, what's up? Let's talk. Or, all right, what's going on? So I think that having the ability to cut things off, having the ability to be able to center and focus. If you don't have another task to do, then I think you have room to explore your hobbies, your passions, or what have you, or delve deeper into your distractions. Just like we put in the rule or the idea or the strategy to have a timer for, like, you when you're scrolling, right? If you're working, you find yourself just, kind of going, it's like, okay, You get 15 minutes of that.
Your hands
right?
is ashy.
Is it ashy?
Do y'all hear that?
Y'all see any ash? If I was quite yellow, maybe you wouldn't be able to see my ass. Because we're talking about ash. If I pointed this camera down, you see these feet that you're working with here. Now, see, that might be pretty ashy. So, but yeah, I think that you make time for what you want to make time for.
Exactly.
And you can make all the excuses that you want to about somebody didn't allow or somebody didn't want. But if you don't verbalize anything to them, then that's you making an assumption. You know, so if I don't believe that you want to join in various things, then that's my assumption, right? If I don't ask you, then that's my assumption. I don't have a right to be upset with you about that. I believe the same thing, vice versa.
Well, yeah, that sounds good, because I think that, you know, like the video game, the phone can also be a distraction from your assignment as a spouse, right? Because like, it's just the truth. I think that your relationship is a priority. I mean, what did you get into it for?
Yeah.
You know, what was the purpose to get into it? And you have to kind of just think about that. Is because you can have your different goals, but you don't want to end up with this goal and then your relationship is in the dumps, or you end up not having a relationship anymore, right?
Yeah.
So you still want to have that balance where you're successful, where your partner supports you, and you can still move forward in your goals. But then you add on distractions, which really can take a toll, because that's sort of like your spouse is looking at you like, well, I ain't supporting you in your distractions. You know, you getting lost in, you know, you looking at me like you getting lost in your phone, and I'm looking at you getting lost in your game. I'm not supporting that. You know, so it does have to be some type of balance, and you know, as long as there's still love and respect, and because I will be honest though, because this is our second marriage, so I've been in a relationship where the person didn't have as much free time, so they would be more so obsessed with me. with me, because they didn't have that outlet, that creative outlet, like a video game or like friends to hang out with. So it was like all the attention was on me. Now, and I've been in a relationship where I felt like there was so much distance that even though you're there physically, you're not there mentally. You know, you're not there emotionally. If I'm asking a question, you're still partly focused on that. And even like from day to day, I can almost feel, and you probably can say, you know, I'm probably totally wrong because I don't know, but being so involved in something like a virtual world, I mean, I think that's a real thing. Like with all this AI stuff, right? Like this virtual reality is almost becoming bigger than like reality, than what is tangible, you know? And I think that's that gaming community. I don't really get it. I don't get it, because I feel like it's so much to do in like this tangible world,
but I think you do
than in a virtual world. Because I mean, I guess, you know, guess what? It's a lot to do in the virtual world because it's fun. Like you're an NBA star in the virtual world, and on this side, it's like two worlds to me. That's my understanding of it.
Well, again, I think you do understand, because I would say the same thing about people who are super heavy on social. That's not real life.
It's not. Those are real people, though.
They're real people. It's also real people playing a video game, right? But it's not real life. Do you really talk to a lot of the people that are using social? They are living their life on social. If somebody bullies them on social, they feel that in real life. But these people are not in their real life. That's what I'm saying. Is like, I think you do understand what that community is, because you view that as real life. I do not. Right? And so I view that as these are pictures, these are videos of real people, maybe showing you snippets of their real life. It's mostly people showing the highlights of their real life.
Yeah.
And so, but that is not the day-to-day, and they don't need to show you the day-to-day. But again, that is not real life, because as soon as you put that phone down, guess what? You're not watching, you know, this celebrity person in your house. Right? You got folks that's in your house. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It's not real life, and people do get consumed in that. And so I think you do understand the gaming community a bit more than you would like to admit that you understand.
I mean, honestly, I think that I need to understand. Like I said, the AI, the virtual reality thing is becoming bigger than this, you know, than this tangible world. And it's probably because people aren't putting their energies in this tangible world. They're putting it in the virtual world. So whatever you put your focus on, that's what's going to grow. That's what's going to expand. That's what's going to get bigger. Your relationships, even though they might be robot people or whatever they are there, you know, those things are going to grow, while these things on this side of the world, it reminds me of Stranger Things. You ever watch the show?
No.
Stranger Things? Okay. Well, just not in the same way, but it's two worlds. It's like the upside down world where like all the aliens and stuff is kind of grimy and weird. But then there's the, you know, the human world, you know, so.
Where things are grimy and weird.
Well, I mean, it's the human, well, in New York City maybe, but it's the human world.
Downtown LA.
That is for sure. So it's like this is our human world, but then you got the virtual world, you know, and you putting all your energy and your focus in that. When you come over in the human world, it don't look so good. It's like, I created a whole lifestyle of the rich and famous over there, so I see you later. You know, you was cute, but you know, I got Tyra Banks on that side. You know, so I mean, you know what I mean?
Do you think that people do that with other aspects? Because I mean, you can get about virtual, right? So whether that be video games or the phone or whatever have you, but people have real life distractions as well.
Oh, sure.
Right? They will spend hours on hours being at a place that's not like work, right? That's not particularly making them money or making you know things for their family, and they'll do that for hours every day, right? And being apart from their family or possibly their relationship or what have you. Like, can you think of any of those?
Yeah, you know, because I am a spiritual person. I already told you, and I told him that. I mean, I put church, even though the church house, okay, because I do believe the church is within us, right? So the church house is one of my hobbies, all right? Because I know that you can worship God, you can sing, you can pray, you can read the Bible at home. You ain't got to go nowhere. You ain't got to leave your house. You ain't got to leave your closet to do all that, right? But I do love going to church. I'm a church girl. I love to sing. I love to see people. I love to hug people. You know, I love it all. I love to give. I mean, I love church, the whole church experience. And that's what it is. It's a church experience. So I would do that for free, right? As a matter of fact, I pay to do it. I pay when I go, you know, so, and I can spend a lot of time there. A lot of time that can be taken away from the time that I can spend with my family, or I can spend with focusing on my goals and things like that. But you do need that time. You do at least need that day of rest, that Sabbath, right? Now, every day, you know, maybe not, but hey, you know, if you feed your soul every day, your soul will grow. Like I said, where you put your energy, where you feed your spirit, your mind, your body, or you feeding something else, somebody else, that's what's going to grow. So because the reason why I'm a spiritual person is I love to feed my spiritual soul, you know, my spiritual self.
Well, as long as whatever it is that you are putting attention and focus and time into, let it be something that you want to receive tangible results from, right? Sure. So if that's, you know, games, if it's your social, if it's creativity, if it's at church, if it's spending time with family versus, you know, being, you know, on a project or something like that.
That can be spiritual as well.
Whatever it is.
Whatever the Lord is calling you to do.
Right. Whatever it is that you are focused on doing, do so that you can get tangible results. If you are not seeking tangible results, then honestly, you probably got to question why you're doing it so much.
It's true.
Right? Because whatever it is that you hope to get out of it, and don't let anybody tell you what it is that you're supposed to get out of that. Like, you know that for yourself and be satisfied with that. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking, you spending all this time and you need a distraction, okay, cool. Like, that's what you're seeking. That's what you're going to get. Now, make sure that that's the distraction that you want. And then you might need to take a look at what you got going on in your regular life that you need this much of a distraction for.
Right.
Right? And so, but just be purpose driven when it comes to everything that you do. Right? So whether it's leisure, whether it's your job, whether it's your conversations, whatever it is, be purpose driven about and focused to be able to get those tangible results. And then you'll be satisfied. So whatever it is that you do, you're going to enjoy it because you're going to enjoy the fruit of that labor.
It depends on what your goals are, right? I think that we have so many different categories for our goals. That's the thing. Your goals don't have to be just professional goals. It could be your spiritual goals. It could be your relationship goals. It could be your health goals. It could be, you know, that's another thing. If something is taking you away from you taking care of your own body, then that is a distraction, you know?
Your emotional health.
Or your emotional health or your mental health. Yeah, that's something that you can strive for to have better, you know? And, you know, I feel like everything is connected to the spiritual. Foundation starts in the spiritual, you know? I may not be getting money, you know, you say intangible, it don't have to be money, but it can be results that benefit your life. Right.
Some results you can see. I believe that to be tangible.
Yes.
It's something that you can see. So that's that. Right? Did want to have a special segment of the show. Yes,
we wanted to just send our prayers and our condolences to family of Jacqueline Smith, who was on Wild 'N Out with her partner, DC Young Fly.
Yep.
Young Fly, okay. I used to watch the show with Nick Cannon when Nick Cannon was on it. I'm not sure if he's on it anymore.
Still a show.
Okay, it's still a show. Great. Good job, Nick. But it was so sad to hear the news about Jacqueline, which everybody called her Jackie O, Miss Jackie O, about her passing away this week because of complications from surgery, which they said she was getting a mommy makeover. She had just had a baby. She has 3. They have her, and DC Young Fly had 3 babies, beautiful babies, and she passed away from those complications, which is so So tough. So I did want to send out, prayers for them. It's difficult because people don't realize that surgery is surgery. You can, lose your life. There's no guarantee. I don't know if it was any malpractice. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything following up with that, but it is very, very risky. I have friends. I have done, some surgeries, cosmetic surgery, and it is a risk, And I've heard that she had, some surgeries like that before. That she came out, she was fine. But for some reason, she was called home. So I did want to send prayers to her family and those babies. I know that they'll be taken care of, but it's still a great loss.
Absolutely. Prayers and healing energy and she and her family and all her loved ones.
Amen.
All right, guys. So we want to thank you again for coming along. If you've been dragged along to one of our conversations on date night, we just want to say we thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you next time.